If you have aches, pains, or weakness in your shoulders, then today I wanted to teach you what nobody is teaching you about how to strengthen your shoulders. Hi there, my name's Coach Tyler, and one of the things that we do at WeShape is host live Q&A coaching calls, where I get to answer questions from people that are in pain, are tight, or weak. And one of the most common things that I hear is that people struggle with shoulder weakness, tightness, or even an ache or a pain or an injury. And whenever this happens, there's one common thing that I see that almost everybody who has weak, inflexible, or painful shoulders has, and that is an imbalance of internal and external rotation of the shoulder capsule. And I'll explain exactly why this is important for you to know. You see, when we have a tight internal rotation, that means the muscles across the chest are tight, where this blue line is, coming from the shoulder all the way down into the sternum. When this muscle's tight, it causes bad posture. And when we go to lift our arm overhead, what will naturally happen is your shoulder will internally rotate as you lift your arm overhead. So if your shoulder's hurting right now, or if you feel weak, if you just go to lift your arm over your head without thinking, do you lead with the back of your hand towards your face, or do you lead with your palm towards your face? One of the first things you can do to start fixing this is as you reach your arm overhead, reach with your palm towards the sky or palm towards the face. But this requires to have a looser pec muscle right here. So instead of getting stuck and that pec muscle forcing you to internally rotate, what we want to do is we want to start strengthening the muscles that allow us to externally rotate and to loosen up these muscles across the front side of the chest, which are preventing you from moving through your shoulders the way that you were meant to move through your shoulders. Now, the good news is, while this all sounds complex and like you're reading from a textbook, the easy thing to do is one simple movement, and I'll show you 3 different variations that you can do once a day to start loosening up all these muscles, pulling your shoulders back into their proper alignment, and freeing up the ability to bring your arm overhead again in a way that feels pain-free, strong, and loose. The movement you're going to want to practice if you want to help increase your shoulder external rotation, making your shoulders feel stronger, more flexible, and hopefully a lot less painful, is called the seated external rotation. And I'm going to show you 3 different levels of the seated external rotation to make sure that you make more and more progress and build more strength, flexibility, and coordination in your shoulders so that your body starts to feel good again. For the beginner variation, what you're going to do is start by coming to the edge of a chair, dropping your elbows towards your hips and keeping them there the entire time. So we're not shrugging our shoulders up like this. Our elbows are right above our hips. From there, we're going to turn our palms toward the sky. And all we're going to do is rotate our thumbs backwards behind us. Now, at first, you may only be able to go this far without feeling like there's tension inside your chest or your muscles on the back sides of your shoulder blades are just simply not strong enough. That's okay. All we have to do is this: come out as far as we can, bringing our thumbs back as far as we can without allowing our bodies to shrug at the very end range of motion. So bringing our hands back as far as possible until we feel the muscles between our shoulder blades and underneath our armpits right here start to squeeze. Squeeze those muscles for a second, then bring your arms back in front and repeat. Each time, trying to go a little bit further if possible and really focusing on squeezing the muscles in between the shoulder blades and underneath your armpits. Now, the way to do this is to practice this movement every day, ideally at least once a day. Twice a day would be even better, for around 60 to 90 seconds. You can even take out your smartphone and set an alarm that says shoulder external rotations once in the morning, once in the evening, and then just come to the edge of a chair and do this particular movement for, again, 60 to 90 seconds to start retraining your body to open the shoulders, loosen the muscle of the chest, and start creating strength and tone on the muscles on the back sides of the body and underneath your armpits that help protect your shoulders and bringing them into the right place. Now, if this feels pretty good and you're able to bring your hands in alignment with your body, right? So there's one straight line through your body. Then we can go to the next step. Okay, for the next level, we're gonna repeat the same movement, only we're gonna adjust the angle of your upper arm to make this a little bit more challenging on your mobility and create more strength on the backside of your body. So starting with our elbows by our hips and our palms toward the sky, all we're gonna do is lift our arms to about a 45-degree angle. Now we're gonna keep the elbows at that 45-degree angle the entire time we're doing this movement. And just like before, we're gonna rotate our thumbs backwards, this time keeping the upper arms at that 45-degree angle. And you'll start to feel this oftentimes in the lower middle section of your back, underneath your armpits and between your shoulder blades. Just like before, we're gonna come back forward, slowly rotating, and then each time trying to go further backwards. Now, something to pay attention to is as we start to lift our arms up, you'll probably have a tendency to want to lift the chest and almost like, arch your back towards the sky like this. So try to avoid that tendency. Instead, keep the core a little bit tight and just rotate the thumbs back and really focus on squeezing those muscles without extending through the rib cage and extending through the upper back. All right? If you can do this for 60 to 90 seconds, feeling the muscles squeeze in between the shoulder blades, in the lower part of your middle back, and also underneath your armpits, then we can go on to the final level. For the final level of the seated external rotations, we're gonna start just like we did before with the elbows down by the hips, only this time we're gonna bring them in alignment with our shoulders just like this. Now pay close attention to whether or not you're shrugging your shoulders up or keeping them down. We want them to be down the entire time. If you start to shrug, pause, drop your shoulders, and start over. From here, same thing, only our palms are gonna be facing each other this time, but our thumbs pointed backwards. Now externally rotate, bringing the thumb as far back as we can, and this time you're gonna feel it again in between the shoulder blades, underneath the shoulders. You might even feel it in your traps as well. Come down forward to the start position and repeat, each time trying to gain a little bit more range of motion and taking a second at the end range of motion to really squeeze the muscles between the shoulder blades and the backs of the shoulders, underneath the armpits, so you can start to build awareness to what those muscles are supposed to be doing. Now, practice this every single day, just like you did on the other variations. And what will happen is your posture will go from this to this. You'll naturally start to move with your arm over your head like this, rather than like this, and your shoulders will feel stronger, looser, and a whole lot less painful. I hope this movement makes your shoulders feel so much better. Now, once they start to feel a lot better, then make sure you watch this video right here, which will teach you my favorite move to give you unstoppable, strong shoulders. Otherwise, if you want a workout routine that's gonna help you feel better in your body and teach you how to move the way your body was meant to move so you can gain strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination and feel good in your body again, well, then you should try WeShape. All you gotta do is click the link below.